And she talked about heirs property.
And she talked about heirs property.
Heirs property.
And she talked about heirs property. And I figured heirs property is just property that goes to heirs of somebody who may have died. And a lot of times that's usually what happens. Tax or foreclosure properties, taxes are unpaid because somebody died and heirs are hard to find and things like that. That's just normal. That's just part of this business. It turns out that's not exactly what it was.
But it turns out that's not exactly what it was.
But it turns out that's not exactly what it was.
So I wanted to make this video to teach you a little bit about it and to let you know what actually heirs property is in case you ever run into something like that in your investing endeavors.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Talk to the house of Israel for a minute, huh? If you're really serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga. You not stop faking.
Today we will be talking about heirs property. You exceptional heirs of Atlantis. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to start from the top. You know what I'm saying? This is a very interesting build, and I actually think we might have stumbled across some shit with this Squatters Wars. So I also created a playlist, Squatter Wars, and I have the 10-minute video and also have the 2 builds on there if you want to, you know what I'm saying, get caught up, because this is some valuable information, and I really think niggas could benefit from this because there's somebody smarter than me, and they can probably goddamn finesse this shit way better. So we're going to teach them how.
So after the announcements were done, the treasurer basically said that some properties that are on the auction list are actually heirs properties. And it is the gentleman's understanding, what they said, that, and I made some notes about this actually because I had to research it a little, and that's Heirs, then it is a gentleman's understanding that nobody should bid against them.
He can't support his family, can't pay tax. You lose your land, you lose your property.
20,000.
They're gonna sell it to the highest bidder. They're gonna sell it to the highest bidder. They're gonna sell it to the highest bidder.
How about 20,000?
The highest bidders are here today to see if they can buy themselves a bit of this prime real estate at the county tax auction. Gullah people have been losing their land over just a few $100s in unpaid taxes. But there's an informal tradition where if they stand up and say, heirs property,
Heirs property here.
people won't bid on their land.
So we're actually going to go to a closed door meeting right now. The treasurer is going to answer any questions for folks who are involved with heirs property and give them an opportunity to find out what their rights are during the tax auction.
A lot of you here today may want to stand up and say heirs property when the property becomes available, comes up to bid. And I want to make sure that you are all aware that this is a tradition here. It's not a law. It's not a policy. I cannot enforce that tradition.
Gullah people have been losing their land over just a few $100s in unpaid taxes. But there's an informal tradition where if they stand up and say, heirs property,
Heirs property here.
people won't bid on their land. This year, several bidders did not step aside and abide by that tradition.
Heirs property.
Number, let's see, how about 1,500, ma'am? 1,500, now 16. How about 16? Anybody 16? 16, 17, 17. Anybody 17? Sold it. 1,600, number 18. How about Benjamin Simmons here, 2,000? Okay. 1,700, ma'am. Now 18, 19.
Why the fuck is they steady bidding? Bro, this should be having a nigga like, bruh.
Sold it. 1,600, number 18. How about Benjamin How about 16? Simmons.
By that tradition.
Heirs property.
Number, let's see, how about 1,500, ma'am? 1,500, now 16. How about 16? Anybody 16? 16, 17, 17. Anybody 17? Sold it. 1,600 number.
Well, I wish I could see his face good enough to find him and goddamn.
18. How about Benjamin Simmons here? 2,000. Okay. 1,700, ma'am. Now 18, 1,900. 18, 19, 2000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 3,000, 35, 4, 45, 5, 55, 6, 65, 7, 7,500, 8,000, 8,000.
Don't try to hide. The fuck? Bitch, don't try to hide. And then this bitch, she got a budget. She looking at her paper, how much they gonna spend. Man, hey, bro, like, on my mama, I really don't be trying to, you know what I'm saying, make niggas feel the way that the shit that we learning make you feel, bro. But I know it's doing something to us, bro. And some shit got to change.
Heirs property is communal type property where your ancestors would have purchased the land, and once they passed away, it transfers to the next generation and their descendants. It's fractional ownership, a property that could be owned by 200 people. Any one of those heirs could, since they passed away, it transfers to the next generation and their descendants. It's fractional ownership.
A property that could be owned by 200 people.
Any one of those heirs could sell their percentage. A property that could be owned by 200 people. A property that could be owned by 200 people. Any one of those heirs could sell their percentage. That new owner can go to the court and say, well, we can't agree on how to manage this land.
And force the rest of the folk to sell it, even if they don't want to?
Yes.
And somebody else came, sold that part, so they affect the whole family. We didn't know the law, so we could protect it. So they affect the whole family. We didn't know the law, so we could protect it. So we lost it.
And so it was essential for us to move it out of heirs property status. And that process costs from probate to title clearing close to about $10,000.
Wait, so you own the land, but then you had to pay $10,000 to own the land again?
Exactly. About $10,000.
Wait, so you own the land?
Close to about $10,000.
Wait, so you own the land? So you own the land? So you own the land, but then you had to pay $10,000 to own the land again?
Exactly.
So you own the land. So you own the land, but then you had to pay $10,000 to own the land again?
Exactly. Because of the cost, a lot of families don't clear title to their property. And so then it keeps them in a vulnerable economic risk position.
Many of these are rural counties. And so, in fact, even though we have had the Great Migration starting in the 1920s and running through the 1970s, still the majority of African Americans living in rural America live here in this region called the Black Belt. It's an area that's defined not only demographically.
Now, if you're not aware, go check out our video, Bombs Over Atlantis, live stream, and it's talking about the Anaconda Plan. That's why I say we got to concentrate. If we concentrate on this little section of years that we was talking about, 1820 to 1920, we'll learn more, bro. We'll get to the bottom of this shit. Press 1. And I don't really think that's what these other motherfuckers want niggas to do, press 1. But we about to at Hawk School. For the gifted and the elect, press 1. Anaconda Plan. All right. Military strategy proposed by Union General Winfield Scott early. Damn, I'm all on the mic. Early in the American Civil War, the plan called for a naval blockade of the Confederates. All right. It's a littoral, a thrust down the Mississippi, and the strangulation of the South by Union land and naval forces. All right. Boom. See this? That's why I say I got to put it in the stream. That's why I'm gonna have to write a book. All this shit be in my head at the same time. That's why I be getting so pissed in the live stream when I be talking to nigga. They'll be like, damn, this nigga Hawk tripping, bro. This stupid motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga don't know the bro. Look, all right, so that's that. Now let's fast forward to the future where all the nigga land gone. Where is the land that's goddamn stole at? I digress.
It's not right. I didn't say I'm not part of the property. Only somebody else came, sold that part, so they affect the whole family.
Shortly, Greg's mother, Miss Trudy. Why did she leave here?
She left here because she was nervous.
Why did she leave here?
She left here because she was nervous about whether or not her mama's house was going to be pushed down and whether or not her house was going to be next.
Tuggle was years ahead of them in the tried to formalize their ownership when they found out it was being targeted for sale. Mr. Tuggle was years ahead of them in the process and outbid them during last year's auction. Shortly after that, Miss Stanley moved in with her daughter in Washington, D.C.
I didn't say I'm not part of the property. Only somebody else came, sold that part, so they affect the whole family. We didn't know the law, so we could protect it. So we lost it like that.
I'm an opportunist. I'm a racist. I've been called everything in the world. I'm a people like me. I'm at least nefarious. I'm a opportunist. I'm a racist. I've been called everything. At least nefarious. At least nefarious.
Land has been taken from them.
Well,
You see what I'm saying?
I hadn't lynched anybody lately, so but and you know, and people like me, I'm at least nefarious. I'm a opportunist. I'm a racist. I've been called everything in the world. Well, I'm not a racist. I don't go after certain things just because you're black or you're Asian or you what.
You going after the
land.
We didn't know the law, so we could protect it. So we lost it like that.
Message.
You know, I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. How you want it, dog?